everyone, my name's Charlotte Hall and I'm the curator from the Peace Museum in Bradford, England. I want to talk to you about what our staff and trustees have continued to do during lockdown. We've been working from home since March and the museum has been closed, but we've continued to engage with our visitors, old and new, online. This has been done through a series of different projects. First of all, we have been completing our new online exhibition, Peace and Pandemic. This is the first online exhibition we've done, and it tells the stories of communities during the COVID-19 pandemic and shows you what they've been doing, how they've continued to support the peace effort. Aside from this, we've been exploring the collection ourselves and picking out some of our favourite objects with the videos you're going to see today. These videos let you see some of the objects a bit more up close and personal, and lets you have access to them even when the museum is closed. The 4 videos are from Clive Barrett, our Chair of Trustees. He looks at this beautiful watercolor painting. Myself, I explore our textile collection and focus on a banner from Green and Common. Shannon Johnson, the Learning Engagement Officer at the museum, who looks at a suitcase that belonged to a kinder transport survivor. And finally, Rosie, our admin assistant, looks at these amazing prisoner of conscience statues we have on display in our gallery. These 4 videos demonstrate the importance and breadth and variety of our collection. Hope you enjoy them.
Hello, I'm Clive Barrett, Chair of Trustees of the Peace Museum. I'm going to tell you about my favourite item in our amazing collection. It's one of our smallest, a miniature watercolour painting. The mount, which makes it 3-dimensional, is in a teardrop shape, the sort used in a paisley pattern. The origin of that shape is the mango, and it goes back to ancient Persia 2,000 years ago. Although this is a modern artwork, it was added to our collection in 2009, it does come from Iran, so the shape is part of its meaning. The story behind the painting starts with a visit to Bradford by an Iranian woman, Shirin Ebadi. She is a human rights lawyer and a Nobel Peace Prize winner. She promised to send us a special object of peace. This beautiful watercolour from a workshop in Isfahan is the gift she sent. It shows an angel sprinkling soft pink petals onto the earth below. I love this object for many reasons. The view is from space, reminding us how small our planet is and that we need to care for it. The angel figure crosses cultures, centuries, creeds and philosophies. It draws us out of ourselves and our arguments to see something bigger. The sprinkling of petals is a calming, soothing, gentle action, an end to violence. There's also the symbol of the United Nations, that imperfect but essential international body with all its agencies for children, health and refugees, which takes us into the practical work of building relationships for peace. The fact that the painting is from a peace lover in Iran is special too. So often Western governments try to hold up Iran as an enemy, but we know that in every country there are ordinary people just like us, longing for peace and working for peace. We recently had a visit from a friend from Tehran Peace Museum, a member like us of the International Network of Museums for Peace. So when our government or the American government says bad things about Iran, this painting reminds me that ordinary Iranian peacemakers share our humanity, and we share our longing for a peaceful world. And it's beautiful too. This painting might only be small, but for me it's very special. It helps me to appreciate the humanity of every person. It's an image of peace and a sign of hope.
Hi everyone, my name's Charlotte Hall and I'm the curator from the Peace Museum. For this year's #Museum Week, some of our staff and trustees thought we'd share with you our favourite objects from the collection. Two of my favourite objects come from our textile collection and are banners made by artist and activist Talia Campbell. Talia started making peace banners in the early 1980s while protesting at Green and Common Peace Camp. Green and Common Peace Camp was established to protest the holding of American cruise missiles at the RFA Air Base in Berkshire. The camp itself was there for 19 years and it successfully saw the removal of these missiles. The banners are beautiful, appliqued, colourful, bright, and depict everyday life and objects from Green and Common Peace Camp. The first one is made by Talia, and you'll see in the middle there is a symbol of women holding hands. This is very recognisable of Green and Common. It might also be from the famous Embrace the Base Day, where 30,000 women held hands round the base, which made a 12-mile long chain. Other images you'll see are wire cutters used to cut through the fencing in the female Venus sign. You might also be able to see some Welsh dragons on a tent and caravan. Talia is Welsh and that's why these are on here. On the left side you'll see a digger sneaking in. These diggers were used to destroy the peace camps. Every day some women had to pack up their belongings and then set up camp one at night. That's what you'll see with the rest of that banner. There's caravans and tents all over it. This is where they lived, some people for 19 years. It was their home. The other banner is slightly different and was made with one of Talia's friends, Mary, an Australian. This is why you'll see a kangaroo instead of a Welsh dragon. You'll also see a trolley. These were called eviction trolleys and women put their belongings in them when they were evicted. These amazing banners have been loaned all over the world in different museums and really show the impact Green and Common had on the peace community.
Hi everyone, I'm Shannon Johnson, the Learning and Engagement Officer at the Peace Museum. And for today's really special #Museum from Home, I thought I'd share with you one of my favourite objects from the Peace Museum's collection. As you all know, due to the ongoing situation, the museum is currently closed, and that means that us staff haven't been able to be on site for about 7 weeks now, so I'm really starting to miss our amazing, unique, incredible collection. My favourite object is a kinder transport suitcase that belonged to a young boy called Axel Landmann. Axel was born in 1930s in Berlin in Germany and lived a pretty normal life until the Nazis took over, and as he and his family were Jewish, his life changed drastically. In 1938, his parents made a really, really brave and difficult decision to send Axel away on what became known as the Kindertransport, an organised refugee effort for Jewish children. Axel left his parents by himself as a 9-year-old boy and took a 2-day journey with his suitcase and came here to the UK, where he went to live with a new family in Northampton. The suitcase is old and battered, but it survived all of these years, and not only did Axel take it on that journey in 1938, but it became his suitcase for the rest of his life. He took it on his honeymoon after he got married, and he took it on work trips, and he took it on holidays with his family. And then finally, in 2008, he decided it was time to nip down to Argos, other shops are available, and he gave the suitcase to the Peace Museum so we can use it to tell his story, because it's the story of his life in a suitcase. So that's my favourite object for today's #museum from home, and I really hope soon that we're all able to go back into museums and to see these amazing objects when it's safe to do so. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rosie. I work as the admin assistant and also part of the learning team at the Peace Museum in Bradford. And today I'd like to tell you a wee bit about one of my favourite pieces at the museum. So, The Prisoner of Conscience is a triptych sculpture that was created by Malcolm Brocklesby. And this is a really personal piece for the artist because his uncle was one of the 16,000 conscientious objectors during World War I. It also evokes a lot of personal feelings for me as well, because I have conscientious objectors in my family from the First World War and from the Second World War. So these sculptures are highly visceral. You can feel the anguish on the face of the first piece. There is a message in each box. The first reads, "Throughout the world, many thousands of people are imprisoned for their beliefs, usually without trial or even in conditions of terrible cruelty. But while ever their voice can be heard, this is a chance that their cause may ultimately prevail." So the second message reads, "If the outside world knows of their existence and some contact, however tenuous, can be maintained, help must be possible." The sculpture has a furtive arm reaching out, still trying to be seen. But the last box is locked with no sign of what it contains. The message on this box reads, "But if their plight is unknown, or if they are forgotten, the doorway to freedom closes and any flicker of hope is extinguished." What is so amazing about this piece is its presence in the museum. When we get school groups in, the kids are always going to ask about the Malcolm Brocklesby sculpture. And this just exemplifies its existence. This is what it's all about, keeping the conversation going. So CEOs still exist today, and telling their stories gives hope in a militarised world. Thank you. Bye.